Okay, good evening, everybody. A very, very warm welcome to this evening's Why LifeVantage call. If this is your first time joining us on one of these calls, I just want to take the opportunity to welcome you. I'm your host this evening. My name is Lara Zimmern, and I am a Pro 5 with LifeVantage. That may not mean a huge amount to all of you, but I've been with the business for 5 years, and I've been able to build a fantastic income from home around my 3 amazing children and another business and all that goes with that. So the purpose of this evening's call is really just to share some insight into what it's like becoming a LifeVantage distributor. And I've got Charlie Thompson with me this evening. Charlie is somebody actually that I personally brought into this business. She was actually at the top of my list when I first spoke to her about LifeVantage and wanted her to join me. And I'm going to be talking to her. She's going to be sharing some stuff, and I will do. But why do we do this? Well, you're definitely been introduced to LifeVantage. You may already be on the products. You may be trying them, seeing great results, and you may be sitting here right now taking a look at the business and you've looked at some information on what building a LifeVantage business is about. And tonight's not about delving into any sort of training or how the actual business works. It's more about giving you an insight into what this business can do for people. And you're going to hear that from Charlie. So I'm going to bat pretty much straight over to Charlie now, because as I said at the very beginning, I introduced Charlie to LifeVantage, and it is 5 years ago. We will be 5 years in March in the UK. But I thought it'd be really helpful, especially if you're looking at this business for the very first time, just to know what her life or her professional and her personal life was like before LifeVantage. So Charlie, I'm going to hand over to you. If you can give us some sort of insight into what was going on before all this came and presented itself to you.
Cool, thanks, Lara. Well, a little bit about me. I'm 43 years young, and I suppose when I look back and you sort of digest your past and things, you look back and think, how have I got to where I'm at the moment? And I suppose we've got to start with my childhood, because my parents split up when I was 5 and my sister was 3, and my mum worked extremely hard, taking whatever jobs that she could to earn enough money to bring it into the house so that she could fund for me and my sister. And with doing so, she wasn't really ever there for us. It was my grandparents that we were dropped off early in the morning. It was my grandparents that took me to school. It was actually my grandma, to be fair. I'm giving too much justice to my granddad. It was my grandma that took me to school and picked me back up again. She cooked our tea, she got us in our pajamas, and then my mum would pick us up, and we'd go home. We'd probably have 20 minutes and we'd be in bed, and then the whole cycle would go over and over again. Yes, we had weekends, but because my parents split up, the weekends was torn between my mum and my dad. So you look back and you just think, what was my mom? What sort of a role model was she, and how much time did I spend with her? She was extremely hardworking, and she did the best for us. But I always wanted different. If I was going to be a mom, I decided that I wanted it to be different. I wanted to be the mom that was there. I wanted to be the be there mom. But I didn't have any idea how I was going to do that. And I went to university. I had to drop out of university because I was thrown out of home, and I couldn't fund the university and a full-time job. I just couldn't balance the two together. So I decided to jump into the corporate world. My passion was sport. It will always be sport, mainly hockey. And I wanted to do something where I could help people from a sporting background. And I wasn't a personal trainer, I hadn't got that qualification. As I said, I had to drop out of university. So the best thing I thought I could do was go and work for a good exclusive health club and help all those people that were walking through the door that had been told that they had to work out and do some exercise by the doctor, but were scared stiff on how they were going to do that. So I would walk them around a leisure centre and explain to them and share with them how friendly we were and what sort of a community we were, and it would be a nice place for them to get healthy. And I did that for a long time, and then it all went bad. I lost my trust in the whole corporate world. My general manager turned out to be not the nice guy that I thought he was, and I just made a decision that I never ever wanted to work for anybody ever again. And however I was going to find my way through life, I was going to find my way through life. I wasn't going to rely on anybody else. So I had a bad corporate experience. I was introduced to network marketing, which is the model that LifeVantage is based on, at a very, very early age. And I loved it. I loved the fact that anybody could design their life. Whatever they wanted out of life, they could design it. And I love the concept of network marketing, but I couldn't quite find the right company for me. And it wasn't until later on in life that I did find what I believe to be a good company. And, Lara and myself actually worked together in that company. That's where we met. That's where we first met. And we had some fantastic times. We had some great times. But Lara was always higher up the ranks to me. And Lara kept saying to me, Charlie, when are you gonna get to my position? You've got all the ability in the world, but when are you going to do it? And I used to say to Lara, I really don't want the hassle and the stress that head office put on you. You have absolutely no life balance. Do you remember me saying that to you, Lara?
I do. I remember you saying to me, I don't think I want to be your rank, because I don't think I want to have your lifestyle. And that was such a wake up call.
It was, wasn't it? So there was no lifestyle balance. They were promoting lifestyle, but there was absolutely no balance. And for those of you that know me, my main passion in life is my family, and it was taking me away from my family, and I had no desire to go any further in that business. I'm a business person. As I say, I dropped out of the corporate world and I decided to set up a life myself. I wanted a passive income, and about 16 years ago I started building a property portfolio, because I believed that was the avenue that was going to give me the passive income that I desired for my life, whatever my life had got to unfold in front of me. But for those of you that have got property portfolios, I was doing well. I'd got really good cash flow coming through. It was really good. But then you have months where just stuff happens. Things go wrong on the houses. Tenants don't pay. Things completely out of your control happen. And then all of a sudden your cash flow drops. And if your cash flow drops, your lifestyle drops. It messes with your lifestyle. And, I was in a very good, strong relationship with my partner. We got married and we were starting to think about, we wanted children. And I was thinking, this isn't going to give me the security that I feel I want for my family. It needs to be stronger. My grandma always said to me, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Okay. And I'm a strong believer of don't put all your eggs in one basket. I'd got one passive income coming through from my property portfolio. I'd had a network marketing passive income coming in, wasn't really enjoying that. And I was a little bit of a crossroads. Do you remember that crossroads, Lara?
I do.
I was a bit of a crossroads and I wasn't too sure what to do, because my life wasn't bad. I was in a good place. My life wasn't bad, but I didn't actually know what direction I was gonna take. And somebody phoned me in the form of Lara. Do you want to explain this bit, Lara, or shall I?
Well, yes. I mean, if you're thinking of joining the business and you've started to think about people you'd love to introduce, well, Charlie was pretty much at the top of that list, along with a couple of other people who are probably on this call this evening. And I was so convinced in my heart of hearts that Charlie was just going to say yes to me straight off. I phoned her up, probably a little bit cocky, because we obviously had a relationship, and she had seen my success in a different business. And she said no. She was not a straight up yes. She was a no. But I suppose my complete belief and resolution in everything I had seen in LifeVantage at that stage, and bearing in mind it was super early days, it wasn't yet even in the UK. It was about October 15. So we're going back 6 years now, 5.5, 6 years ago. I just kind of thought, you know what, I'm not going to harass her, but I'm just going to stay in touch, because when you've got something really precious, and Charlie's story that she shared at the beginning, I knew that story. I remember very early on in our other business, she told me that she was going to make sure 100% that she was always there for her children. And I have a similar upbringing to Charlie. And it really stuck in my throat. When somebody tells you something and you think, wow, it may not seem a lot, but when someone eyeballs you and looks you in the eye and says, I will do anything to drop my kids to school and collect my kids from school, nothing will ever get in the way of that. I thought, wow, yeah. So I didn't take her no as a no. I just went, well, that's maybe how she's feeling today, and I'm just going to circle the wagon in a couple of weeks and stay in touch with her.
Do you know what though? The thing is, Lara contacted me, and because we'd got past experience working in another network marketing company, I automatically assumed this new network marketing company was going to be very similar to what we'd just come from. And as I've got on this slide here, I literally was not looking for another sales job, another month-to-month sales job, which is what we had in the previous company, didn't we? As much fun we had,
yeah,
that was basically what it was. Although they were promoting the dream, but it just wasn't there. And I was looking for something else, but I just wasn't sure what it was. And Lara said to me, Charlie, so she started contacting me in the October. It wasn't until the February we started having serious conversations. Charlie, can I just give you an outline of why I feel what I've come across is different to where we were before? Do you remember those few points, Lara?
I do. Yeah.
Go on, share them.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, before I share them, what I'd love to do is just give a little bit of my own story, because, you know, I never know who's listening. And some of what Charlie has said to you may resonate with you, but just to give you my own background, I came from a really entrepreneurial family. My father had his own business, and I saw him work incredibly hard. He's 78 and he still works. He kind of tells all of us that he still works because he doesn't want his brain to go to seed when he retires, which is what happens to a lot of his friends. But he still works, in fairness, out of a bit of necessity. So I had a huge work ethic, and I always wanted to work for myself. So I did. I left university. I set up a PR company in Dublin. I realized I was really bad at PR. I was good at getting the clients on, not so good at actually delivering it. So then I sold that and set up a recruitment company. And I had that up until my early 30s, when I moved to the UK, when I met my husband, and I set up a yoga business. And I suppose that's when I first understood the concept of leveraging businesses. I franchised that business throughout the UK and also into Australia. But if there's any traditional business people on the line, what I had done was I had created a model that capped, and it capped at me, right? If I wasn't there driving the engine behind this business just wasn't moving forward. And if you can resonate with that in any way, if you own a shop, I'll give you a great example, recruitment. I love recruitment, but the thing about recruitment, you're not selling, a commodity like telephone cases, and you just, you get an order and you just ship them out of the factory, or you tell the factory to make more, and you order them. You're dealing with people, and people who will go for an interview and then they'll change their mind because their boyfriend's proposed and they're going to move to Paris. It was always dealing with moving things. And I was in recruitment, I was only ever as good as my last month. It was so true. I did have great contracts, and I did have quite a stable business. In fact, I built a really strong business. But the same happened with my yoga business. I loved it, but for 8 years I was married, glued to that business. When I had my eldest, my waters broke on a Monday. I'm not going to get into gory details, by the way. My waters broke on a Monday. Nothing happened in terms of going into labor. I went in on the Tuesday to the office and sat on a Swiss ball with a towel around me and did a tax return just in case the baby came that day. Now, the baby didn't come till the Thursday, but that's how insanely married I was to that business. I came out of the hospital on the Monday, having had a cesarean, and my office manager turned up with files for me to work on. I never, ever took maternity leave. I finally sold that business when my daughter was like, I don't know, 6 months old, but I did not enjoy my 3 pregnancies or my little ones being newborn babies, because I sat at home and worked, and literally the second they fell asleep, it was like plonk and work. So I was married to it. And when I got into network marketing after selling that business, and I loved the concept that I wasn't capped at me. Does that make sense? If you're really good at something and you love it and you kind of wish you could do it all day long, or you could find 10 of you, well, that's kind of what this business is all about. So I got into network marketing. I always refer to my first 2 years as my not-for-profit years, because I did really badly. I turned up for all the training courses, and I listened to all the books and read all the books, and used the products and did all the right things. And then I found the business that Charlie first mentioned, and I went into a 6-figure year income within a year in that business. But it was a sales job. And the reason I'm telling you this is I'm going to come to the points that I think probably the penny dropped for Charlie. So it was a sales business, and that meant that I had to go out and sell product every month in order to maintain my paycheck. And I had a great paycheck, but that also was the same for my team. and I was looking at people who were working just as hard as me, but not earning as much as me. And that was really difficult. And I walked away from that business for lots of different reasons, all good ones. And then LifeVantage came along, and I wasn't looking for another network marketing business. I also am in property. I have a property business. I have my own portfolio. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to just kind of focus on that. And LifeVantage came along. And this is the boxes it ticked for me. And I think when I had this conversation with Charlie, that's when her nose became a bit like yes, and moved over to yeses. And that was that we'd found a product that was unique. And what I'm going to share with you is relevant to every business, okay, in my belief, okay, to a certain degree. We had a product that was completely unique. And why that was so important is if I was going to spend my life, and network marketing is a belly-to-belly conversation. It's referral marketing. It's somebody being excited about how great their hair is looking, and someone saying, well, I've been using this amazing True Science. And they go, wow, how do I get that? And you tell them. And we do that all the time. We do it with restaurants, sadly not at the moment. We do it with books, we do it with movies, we do it all the time at things. Okay, so it had to be, I thought, if I'm going to spend my time and energy educating people on a product, well, if they can go buy a cheaper, less, more inferior product on the high street a week or 2 weeks or 2 months later, then actually I'm just, educating people on something I will never have control over. So that was really important to me, that it was something completely unique. And Protandim is the only clinically proven NRF2 activator to reduce oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. It also had to be a consumable. So it couldn't be something people took seasonally or for a period of time. My previous business was weight loss, and I loved helping people lose weight. But people run out of steam on losing weight. They either do it really well and their habits change so brilliantly and they go on to be much healthier people, or they just fall off their wagon, whatever wagon that is, and they go back to bad habits. So it had to be a consumable. It had to be unique. It had to be affordable. And those were really key things. And I think that would be true in any business. If you're buying into a business where they already exist, that's not so exciting. The next thing was independent research. And that was key for me. I mean, having had a yoga business for years, I was pitched network marketing businesses for years. I was probably the biggest knower and naysayer that you'll ever come across. And there's another story there I won't share with you, but independent research said it to me, because everyone is going to validate and big up and wave their flags on their own product, but it had to be that independent research. That was key for me. The next thing was retention, and that's again really important. If you look at things, if you look at your bank statement every month and you're paying for Amazon Prime, or what are we all buying on subscription, for me it was about something that I knew people were going to get great value from, and that's another, that's our product presentation. So retention was key, and retention at LifeVantage is really, really high. And the last thing was timing. And this meant so much for me because, my first business, I just missed the timing. Had I got into it 30 years previously, I would have done really well in it, So timing was key. It was that we were bringing something to Europe that nobody else had, that was completely unique, that was highly affordable, that people seemed to get on and stay on, rave about, tell everybody about. And we were the first people to do it. And I think that was why I joined this business, and it's why anytime anybody tries to tell me anything else, I'm like, I'm sticking with this. And I guess that's probably what I shared with you that day, Charlie.
It was, wasn't it? But you look back now 5 years on, and you're talking about timing, and 5 years on, I would say the timing's even better now, Lara. Which is really crazy, because everything is now in place. We're in Europe, we've opened more countries, and it's really special. But Lara, I was on a training call, I was on a mentoring call the other day, and I was actually asked to do an unusual exercise, which I've not done before. And I wanted to share that with you this evening. Now, I wasn't going to, I'll explain what was asked of me. I'm just trying to put this back up. I'll explain what was asked of me. And I was asked to write a letter to Mr. or Mrs. LifeVantage, thanking them for what I've experienced in the last 5 years. When they first asked me to do it, I thought this is all a bit strange. And we'd got kind of about 5 or 6 minutes to just write as much as we can. The first thing that came out of your mind, just write. And that's what I started doing. And then tonight, when I started thinking about this presentation, I started looking at my letter and thinking, do I change it? Do I change the format? No, because in that moment when I was asked to write, I wrote this down for a reason, and I wrote it in this format. So if I drop backwards and forwards, I do apologize, but this is the real version of what I wrote. And it is, I titled it, Thank You, LifeVantage. I'm not very good at reading out. In fact, it's one of my worst fears at school, but here we go. Thank you for allowing me to be the best version of me every day, offering health, energy, love, and time to my family. Thank you for the opportunity to change, enhance, build up, inspire, positively impact people every day, to being able to meet like-minded people who didn't realize their worth, their inner power, or know where to find their inner confidence before we met. Thank you for the memories you have given my family, the amazement in my children's eyes as we have traveled and experienced incredible places with amazing people. Thank you for allowing me to be there for my children every day, in good times, in sad times, in challenging times. Being able to be the person who is always there for my little humans is an incredible gift, and I'm blessed with that every day. My children can see, hear, and experience me helping and inspiring others daily. And sometimes I get to hear my inspiring words out of the mouths of my children. Thank you for the growth, the training, the environment, and for giving me growth in so many ways that is supporting me in being the best mummy and wife I can be. The business is so much more than a business. It's a way of life. It's a family. Thank you for the friendship, the laughter, the tears, the community, the safe place to be me. Thank you for my amazing tribe who respect, appreciate, and love me for the person I am and what I stand for. Thank you for the ability to do what I do when I want to do it, being able to invest in my fitness and well-being, the time to walk my dog in the beautiful countryside, the time to homeschool my children through lockdown without loss of any income, the ability to share so much with my children every single day. Thank you for these amazing products, most of all, NRF2, NRF1, and the Pro Plus. These help and support my general health and well-being. They allow me to function and get through the days where I've had very little sleep because I'm there for my children. Thank you for giving me the chance to never miss a parents' evening, a sports day, play, awards evening, party, or a special moment with my children. Thank you for the ability to fund my children to experience so much in life, such as sports, days out, holidays, phonics trainings, pets, gardens, a house that they've told me they never want to leave. Thank you for my wife's health, the ability to help and support my wife in what she wishes to do or try. Thank you for the quality time we have together, the memories we've experienced together, and the memories yet to come. Thank you for giving me the chance to have the life I have, with the ability to wake every day with a desire to still want to make a daily difference to people, whether they're whether through their health or their financial stability. Thank you for the income you send me every week, every month, no matter what I've been doing with my time. Thank you for paying me every Easter, every summer, and every Christmas, even though it's my family time and I choose to have that as no business time. Thank you for welcoming me as one of the key leaders in Europe, and thank you for my tribe who are passionate about changing lives, whether that be via the product or the business. Thank you for my customers for trusting in me and investing in their own health, and thank you so much for the special products that really do simply work and change lives every day. Thank you for the fact that no matter who is taking the products, who I've introduced to the products in the last 5 years, all of those that have taken it for the right time frame have all benefited from it. Thank you for my business partner and great friend, Lara. We have built such an incredible friendship, and the trust in one another. This relationship alone has so many more positives in my life. Thank you for the regular messages I receive from customers thanking me for introducing them to these products. It's these stories that inspire me on my low days and will ever inspire me to invite more and more people to take a look at the quality and the power of our products daily. Thank you for the messages I receive from my team, thanking me for being there, not only with LifeVantage, but being in their life as a whole. I'm truly blessed to know such incredible people. Thank you for protecting my mom and my sister from that terrible disease that my grandma was struggling with, not mentioning any names. Thank you for allowing me to be the one who holds my children's hands on the way to school and back home again. Thank you for the certainty I have in my future from a health point of view and from a financial point of view. Thank you for being the constant in my life, even when the world changed and became unrecognisable. Thank you for allowing me to be the giver of hope and the beacon of positivity throughout 2020. I will continue to shine for those looking for so many years to come. Thank you for always being there, even when rules and regulations changed in the world, like Brexit. You are always that one step ahead, looking after your people. You continue to amaze me in how much you really do care and support us in building our future. Thank you for allowing me to be the real me with my family, LifeVantage. We said this 5 years ago, and I stand by this today. Do you remember this, Lara? The truth is good enough. Because of LifeVantage, I am future-proofing my family's health and financial security and building a community that very quickly becomes my extended family. You are our home, and we look forward to many more memories and years to come. Yours always, Charlie and the Thompson family.
Wow.
So what I wanted to just quickly do now is, because we've had so many memories with LifeVantage, I just quickly wanted to share a few photos. Me and my family were blessed. We went to the Bahamas in 2018, and LifeVantage totally and utterly spoiled us. They took 800 people out there. They paid for everything. They hired an island, and we went over there for the day. Do you remember the inflatable challenge, Lara, when we were going through the inflatables in the sea?
Yeah, I do.
That was absolutely hilarious. The gifts that LifeVantage give us, physical gifts or just the gifts through life, is absolutely incredible. The days that I love when we go away with LifeVantage is definitely the legacy days. It's the legacy days that my family really dig deep and get involved in. It's where we are able to give back. My children literally get involved in charity projects for the local community where we can make a difference with the help of LifeVantage to local people that are disadvantaged. And it's those memories that, that my children remember. We swam with dolphins in the Bahamas. Harrison was 3.5. You can see the photo on this screen. He was absolutely petrified of it, but we swam with dolphins for the first time. The aquarium in where we stayed was absolutely incredible. I remember walking into the hotel and seeing this aquarium and my kids' jaws dropping to the floor. The manta rays, the sharks, the fish, it was absolutely incredible. We were literally having breakfast with hammerhead sharks floating around outside, and we were able to watch it. It was absolutely amazing. It was all inclusive. And the best bit, I don't know if Joe's on the call, but when we went to check out, not only was it all inclusive, they'd given us spending money without us realising. So when we checked out, they said, I can't remember what it was, you've got 500 whatever on your bill. What, we need to pay 500? No, you've still got it. So we all ran to the shops and we were buying hoodies and sweatshirts and buckets and spades and all sorts of things to spend the money. It's absolutely incredible. LifeVantage truly do spoil us. And the holiday that we've had last year, just before we went into lockdown, was just as incredible. We were taken to Cancun, and I was recognised for the first time on stage in front of the LifeVantage community, and I was recognised as a Pro 6. And I was truly, truly overwhelmed by that. It was absolutely incredible because not only did it represent my hard work, but it represented the hard work of my team and my organisation and the support in which the customers give every single month in, month out. We did the legacy day as well, again there with my children, and the legacy clip that LifeVantage produced has got us, me and my children and my family in it a couple of times, which is fantastic. So that's something we'll keep forever. Again, it was all inclusive. The gifts again that they presented us with, the amazing shows, the events. I don't know if Brian's on the call, but Brian, the water volleyball that we did over there. We went over there with no team, and me and Brian and a couple of others were literally going, what are we going to do? And we got into the pool on our first match and we stood there and we literally went, we need more players. And there was people coming from Germany, there was people coming from America, Canada, and we got our team in the water and we did really, really well. And it was just absolutely incredible. We swam with dolphins. Now, my son was just coming up to 5 when we went out to Cancun. And the thing that he remembered from the Bahamas was, Mummy, I was too scared to swim with dolphins. I'm not going to be scared this time. And he got in the water and he swam with dolphins. And I should have brought the photo of him. The dolphin lifted him out of the water and he put his hands out and he was going through the water and he was absolutely blown away. He overcame a fear and he achieved a memory that he will remember forever. The new friends, us as adults, we make new friends all the time, but children, you see the bottom right-hand photo there. Me and my daughter made this friend. The friend was supposed to come over in the summer, but with lockdown, we're going to be rearranging that for next year. And my children said to us when we went out there, look, we believe that there's a sandcastle competition. Mummy, you're always setting goals. We're going to set a goal and we're going to win that sandcastle competition with the help of Mama. With the help of Mama. And they went over there and they formed their team. So me and Brian are putting the team together in the water. We're doing the volleyball. And Brian's partner, Avril, she's lovely, formed a team. You can see this middle photo here, formed a team with my wife and my 2 children, and they went off and produced sandcastles. And it was the awards evening on the final night, and they've been awarded the winners of the sandcastle competition. So it's another memory that we will have forever and ever and ever. LifeVantage produced so many memories, and I'm looking across the faces on the screen. We've been to Amsterdam. Karina, red shoes, Amsterdam. Thumbs up. We've celebrated my birthday in Amsterdam. It wasn't just my birthday, it was Eileen's birthday. Now Eileen's on the call as well. What an incredible time we had that day. LifeVantage truly, truly, truly know how to spoil us and truly know how to look after us and look out for us. And I'm absolutely blessed to be part of this organisation. And I couldn't have chosen a better bunch of people to be doing this with. So that's my story, Lara. I don't know if anybody's got any questions, but that is my story. There's so much more I could add, but we'd be here forever. But incredible, absolutely incredible. I love it.
Wow, amazing. Charlie, thank you so much for sharing that with us.
I actually have one more slide, and it is, thank you, Lara, for putting up with my nose and for chasing me and for believing in me and for always being there and supporting in me and for being the great friend that you truly are. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I'm kind of speechless. That letter was really interesting because I was just making notes when you were reading it out, and I think you were about 4.5 minutes in when you mentioned income or money. Now, I know that everybody who's looking at LifeVantage is looking at it as an avenue to building an income. And I think, that is something that maybe it's a European, I'm Irish, maybe it's a British thing, is that we don't talk about money as much as other nationalities maybe do. But most of us join because we have a reason to build a business, and usually it's financially driven. But I think what Charlie has just demonstrated so amazingly well is that it becomes way more than just financial. It does give you the financial returns. If you put the time and effort and energy in, invest in it, you will get that out, but you'll also get so much more from it. So I want to thank you very much. That was a really, really unique and brilliant way of sharing your journey with LifeVantage so far. And what I would just say to anybody is that, if you're sitting here wondering if this is for you, if you're thinking, if you've more questions, if you've things you want to know, get back to whoever invited you on this evening and get those questions answered. There are so many amazing resources available to us where you can get those questions answered, videos, bits of information you can read, and they'll be able to do that. If you're not on the product, I say to everybody, if somebody told me tomorrow I could no longer build a business, I would be like, please don't let me take that product away. That product is so powerful. And if you do decide to join us, let me just welcome you in advance and let you know that you are joining a business, but you're also joining a community where everyone's success is important to us, because we grow the brand. And we talked about timing. Right now, aside from what's happening in the LifeVantage world, there are so many people out there who are starting to prioritize their health So there's a message with our products so loud and clear to go out and share. But there are also so many people out there who don't have an income, or their income source has been severely cut off or jeopardized, or is looking fractious at the moment. And this is not something that you have to do full time. It's something that you can build part-time around other commitments. So whatever you choose to do, I wish you well. I thank you all for staying with us. We probably run over a little bit longer than we normally would, but thank you so much, Charlie. Thanks for all you put into that story this evening. It's made me want to join again.
I'll sign you up.
Okay.
It's lovely to see so many people on the call today. I know this has been recorded, so please share it with people that you know, this might be a fit for. There's lots of people out there, like Lara said, just looking for a glimmer of hope. And even if it raises a smile off somebody, it's been worth sharing it. So thank you for this evening.
All right. Great. Well, we'll wrap it up. Thanks, everyone. Night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone. That was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Good night, all. That was absolutely
Bye.
brilliant, Charlie and Lara. Brilliant.